Hi friends, I'm Abby and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking you through all the series that I have not finished. Everything that is incomplete. And there is no reason for why I have not finished these series apart from that it is all my fault. Me personally, I cannot blame the authors like I did in my up-to-date series list. These are all ones where it is me that has the responsibility with them. And I have a new jumper and I'm really liking it. I'm really liking this jumper. So sorry if I keep looking at my jumper because I'm really liking it. I have 8-ish 9 series on this list. The reason I'm saying 8-ish 9 is because I'm currently reading Bitter Blue. So once I finish this, it will be 8. So I'm like, do I count this because I am currently reading it? And I'm definitely currently reading it. I'm like 100 pages in, so I am committed to it. So I'm not going to count it. I've got 8 incomplete series because this will be finished by the time this video is uploaded. So 8 incomplete series, which I am really, really happy with. I'm really, really proud of myself and really, really happy with this number. Because at the start of the year, I had, I think, 33 incomplete series. This was as far as up to date or hadn't finished it. And now I'm in like the low 20s. So I'm very, very happy with that. But these are the 8 series that I am still working on. So I've split this up into 2 piles. There is a pile of series where there really is no excuse. I am just, there is no excuse at all and I should just be able to finish them really, really easily. And then there's another pile where for me to finish this series, I need to reread the series from the beginning. And so I've sort of paused the series, not like a DNF, it's more just paused until like the final book is out. And then I will reread, because I feel like if I reread now, then I'm just going to be continuing to reread these series as and when new books come out, and it's just going to take forever. So I'm just sort of delaying them a little bit. So maybe it will make more sense when I get to them. But I'm going to start with the series that I have no excuses for. And I do hope for a lot of these to try and finish them before the end of the year. I'm filming this on the 27th of November. So I do still have a month. So hopefully I can be really productive in December. But I've been saying this all year, like some of these I've been planning to read for months and I still haven't read them, and there's literally no excuse. So the first one being Dawn Study, the final book in the Chronicles of Ixia. This is a 9-book series that I've been working on all year, made up of 3 trilogies, and this is the 9th and the final book. So I will finish this by the end of the year. I've been buddy reading this series with my friend Vish from Vish from Books with V, and our friend Sam. And I know Sam has already finished this. I don't think Vish has, but I will finish this. Another one is the Serpent and Dove series by Shelby Mahurin. I reread Serpent and Dove in order to continue this series back in like September, and then I haven't continued, and I really do want to continue with this and finish this. I really, really liked Serpent and Dove. I have heard quite mixed reviews of this book, which maybe is why I'm delaying reading it, because I've been like put off by those more negative reviews. But actually I've seen quite positive reviews for the 3rd and final book. So I do just really want to like finish this off, like finish the series. It's all complete now. I should just be able to binge it and finish it. And I think it'd be quite an easy, quick read. Like it shouldn't take me very long. The same with Dawn Study. It's a YA, like it shouldn't take me very long to read. The same with this next one, which is the, I guess, Where Dreams Descend series. This is just a duology. The second book has very recently come out, so I don't feel so bad about this one. The second book came out in October or November here in the UK. Like it has only just come out. I do really want to read that second book, especially before my memory completely goes of this one, so that I don't have to reread. I might try and find a summary just so that I make sure I go in with a fresh head, but I don't feel like I need to reread it yet, so I do want to get to that sooner rather than later so I can finish off this duology. So those are the ones, those are 4 series where I feel like I really can just finish them. Like I can really get this number even lower if, sorry, that's 3, because Bitter Blue I'm already working on. But if I can read those 3 series, that's just 4 books, and I would have my number even lower. Like it won't take me very long. I was like delaying this video in the hopes that I would read those series before filming, and then I didn't. So I was like, I'm really hoping that I could like have them all done, and then I'd film the video and be like, I literally have nothing on this list. But no. I'm still really happy with the work that I've done. And then this one is less, I don't feel like so guilty on, and that is the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. I have in the last month, read Words of Radiance, the second book. So I have really been actively working on this. I read this first book back in March, and yes, in November I read Words of Radiance. The next book is Edge Dancer, which I do hope to read soon. And then over 2022, I'm going to read the next 2 books. My aim is to try and space them out so that I don't have to reread when the 5th one comes out. I don't know how hard that's going to be because I have really loved the series, but I'm hoping if I can stick to sort of the timeline that I did for books 1 and 2, so I read book 1 in March, this one in November, if I can do a similar-ish pattern, then maybe I will have that all set out for the 5th book. I also do want to do some other work on some more other Brandon Sanderson series in the Cosmere, so I hope that will sort of maybe space out my reading of the Stormlight Archive. Speaking of which, another series on this list is Mistborn Era 2. So this one, unlike this one, I do need to reread, and I have been advised that I should read Mistborn Secret History before I read Rhythm of War, and to do that I need to actually complete Shadows of Self. So that's why I think there's going to be a bit more of a delay in my reading of the next 2 books in the Stormlight Archive, because I'm going to try and work on some of the other Cosmere books. So I really want to reread Elantris and Wallbreaker because it's been years since I read them, and I do want to work on Mistborn Era 2 in preparation for the 4th book coming out. So I never finished Shadows of Self. I read Alloy of Law, and then here we go. I got to page 268 of this 370 page book, and I never finished it. And I don't know, I struggled with it. I don't know why. I could happily read 1,000 pages of Brandon Sanderson. Why am I struggling with a 370 page Brandon Sanderson? Why? So I want to revisit this series. I'm going to have to reread the whole thing, Alloy of Law, this, then hope to read Bands of Morning, and then when the 4th book comes out, I can read that and be up to date and read everything Brandon Sanderson. So that's where I'm at with this. I don't feel so guilty about this. This one I'm going to reread the whole series in preparation for book 4. So I think over the summer maybe I will reread this, and then I will keep working on this as well in 2022. I think there's 2022 I'm going to be doing a lot of Brandon Sanderson work, and I'm very happy about that. I'm really excited to keep working on Brandon Sanderson's books. So I'm very happy to have him continuing to be on my incomplete series list. I'm very happy for him to be there, so that's fine. But hopefully by the end of 2022 I might be up to date, and then it can be on that side of the list as opposed to on the it's my fault. And then a few of the other ones where I would like to reread before continuing, so that's why they're sat on this list. The first one being the Witchland series by Susan Dennard. I have read the first 3 books and the novella in this series, and I've really liked it. The 4th book is out, and it's going to be a 5-book series. So when this came out in June, I realised that I would need to reread the series. And I thought actually it may just be best for me now to wait until the 5th book is out, and then I'll just reread the whole thing and get to the 4th book and the 5th book. And I think that would have a better experience as opposed to rereading for the 4th book and then feeling again like my memory is going by the time the 5th book comes out. And I don't know when the 5th book is coming out. There was quite a delay between books 3 and books 4. So I do wonder if there'll be another delay with the 5th book. I don't know. So I think I'm just going to pause this one for now. I definitely want to continue with it, but it's not a priority until we have a date for that 5th and final book. Another one which is in a similar boat is the Last Hour series by Cassandra Clare. I find Cassandra Clare books really fun. They're a nice palette cleanser, and I've been reading them for years. I don't know how I would feel about them if I was going in reading City of Bones now as an adult, but I have not grown up with them because I started reading them when I was an older teenager maybe, but I continue to enjoy them. They're fun. But I think I would like to reread The Infernal Devices, which is the prequel series to this, then reread this, then read Chain of Iron, which I haven't read, and then read the 3rd and final book in this series when that comes out, I think in November. So I feel like there's some work that I need to do. I want to reread that original trilogy because I feel like that will give me a greater experience with reading this. When I did read this, I felt like I was getting a bit confused because there was a lot of characters because you're following the children from that original series. I'd forgotten who had ended up with who in that original series because I've read it so many years ago. So I feel like if I reread that, got those characters all fresh in my head, And I loved that series when I read it. Like I think it would be a fun audiobook that I'll just be able to have it on in the background, that I can reread that, then I can get to this series properly and experience it in the best possible way. And then when that final book comes out, I'll just finish the series. So that's this one. And then the final book in this sort of section is the Bone Season series by Samantha Shannon. So I read the Bone Season and the Mime Order back in 2015, because I have an arc of this second book. So I read it before, yeah, it must have been 2014, because I read it as an arc. My mum worked in a bookshop growing up, so that's how I got it. So I read these back then, and I loved them. I think I gave them both like 4 or 5 stars. Like, I loved these books back in 2014-15. And I do wonder how I would feel about them now. But so I've binge read these 2, knowing that it's like a 7-book series. And then I did get an R for the 3rd book, and I never read it. I still own it. It is still unread. Oh, it's like hidden behind there. But yes, I have not read that series. I have not continued. I have not read that 3rd book. And now the 4th book is out, and I feel like I would, 100% I need to reread. 100%. This needs a reread before I continue on. But I remember loving it. So I do really want to reread this. I'm not going to wait until book 7, I don't think. I think I do want to reread this sooner rather than later and keep going, continue with it, get it a bit more up to date. So those are the 8 series that I have not finished yet, and it is my fault. I'm really happy with this number. I'm so happy to have it so low. So I'm really hoping that going into 2022 I can have a bit less of a focus on series. Obviously there's a few where I really want to, where I just have those 1 books, and then I can have that finished off, and I'll have this series down to like 5 books or something, and then that will be really manageable, that I'm hoping. And then I'm just going to be reading books as they come out and keeping up to date with my up-to-date series list. And then I will have to start doing my rereads of the series where I'm waiting for the final book. But I think it's going to be a much more manageable list than what I went into 2021 with. And that's what I'm really hoping, that I'm just going to be able to maintain my list now. So let me know how you've been getting on with your series, whether you have an expansive incomplete series list, or if you've been like me and you've been really working on keeping your number down. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in my future videos. Bye!